welcome to Southern Gospel Now, episode 122. I'm Greg Goodman, keeping you up to date with what's going on with the music and those making it. Southern Gospel Now is made possible by Daywind.com, where you'll find a large selection of Southern Gospel soundtracks and music. As we begin our report, Amber Nelon updates us on a surgery she had last week.
It was a minor surgery, one that they needed to remove some things just to make sure that nothing was cancerous that they had found in previous scans. And so it wasn't part of the plan originally, but I do know that God was with us throughout the whole process, and I know that it was His way of just really protecting me and my body and making sure that everything is perfect to continue on this IVF journey that we've been on.
The Southern Gospel Picnic continues through September 4th. Tribute Quartet recently performed, and Gus Gaither talks about the event.
The Southern Gospel Picnic is such a wonderful event. Silver Dollar City is a great park and is a lot of fun. But when you bring in the Southern Gospel Picnic, there's just an excitement in the air. The people are there. They are ready to hear some great Southern Gospel music. And it's just great to get together and to sing those songs and to worship together in that park.
Artists scheduled to perform in the coming days include the Down East Boys, The Sound, Josh and Ashley Franks, Greater Vision, Ernie Haassen's Signature Sound, Gold City, The Isaacs, and many more. The Kingsmen were recently on the road and left Alan Kendall behind.
The Kingsmen recently spent 2 days at one of my GCMA concert promotions in Blairsville. Had a great night on Friday night, and the next morning we were to leave the hotel and go over to the venue at 8:30. Well, I woke up at 7:30, went into a hotel lobby, got me some breakfast, and the first people I saw were Scott Fowler and Legacy 5. So naturally, I sat down to visit with them and catch up, all the while keeping my eye on my watch to make sure that I'm on time. I even texted our bus driver, Daniel Branscombe, told him where I was, requested that he not leave without me. So about 8:25, I say to Legacy 5, see y'all in a few, and walk out of the hotel, only to find the bus gone. The baritone singer, the stage manager for the Kingsmen, actual promoter of the event, they left me. And thank the Lord for Legacy 5.
Jonathan Wilburn has been busy in the studio working on a new solo project, which should be out this fall. Jonathan talks about some of the special folks joining him on this project.
Ben Isaac's my producer. We brought in some great backup singers. Gene McDonald, Charlotte Ritchie, Ben himself sang on this album. But On the Wings of a Dove just cried out for a special, special touch from some special guys. The Inspirations, that's right, the Inspiration Quartet came in to Daywind Studios and backed me up. Roland and Wyatt, Isaac, and also Luke. They just did a marvelous job.
Speaking of the studio, the Collingsworth family is building a studio. Kim Collingsworth fills us in.
I have dreamed of having a studio since probably around the age of 13. And I'm not afraid to tell you or embarrassed, I'm 54 now. So that's been about 41 years of having this dream. To see a studio going in our lower level is beyond exhilarating for me. You might wonder, why are we putting a studio in the lower level of our house? Well, it's very simple. It's going to make the road life much easier on the Collingsworth family in that we won't have to travel to Nashville to lay tracks. We won't have to go elsewhere to other studios to lay our vocals down. We can do it all right here.
We all need a critic in our lives, right? Someone who will tell us straight regardless of the circumstances. For Joseph Habedank, it's his wife, Lindsay. He talks about her response to his song, The Basement.
I remember sharing it with Lindsay, and she's usually such a great gauge of if the people are going to get it or not. And I remember her texting me saying, I'm in tears listening to this chorus. And Lindsay's a very, very hard critic when it comes to songs. In fact, every song that I've ever recorded has pretty much gone through her first. And I knew that when it moved her, it was more than likely going to connect with the people.
The Gaither Vocal Band maintains an active touring schedule. If they aren't on the road, group member Wes Hampton says most likely they're in the studio.
Life with the Gaither Vocal Band post-pandemic has been so interesting, to say the least. Bill is the most energetic, driven 87-year-old I've ever known. Bill has continued to record project after project. We also have another regular project that we're working on, a love song project that we just finished up. So the man has no plans of stopping anytime soon, and I am so grateful for that.
Well, I've always heard being a grandparent is something really special. Susan Whisnant of the Whisnant says it absolutely is.
Well, Austin's married, and of course they gave us our first grandbaby 3 years ago, and he was Carter Neiman Whisnant, and he was 3 years old July the 13th. And now we've got little Emery June that was born June the 6th of this year. I'm telling you, my mom and dad and other people tried to warn me about how much I would love these grandbabies, but nothing, I mean, no words can describe the joy that these kids have brought into mine and Jeff's life. We are so blessed.
Let's take a listen to the top songs in Southern gospel music this week, according to the Power 50 chart.
Number 5.
All Things, The Sound.
I can do all things through him who strengthens me.
Number 4.
I've Seen What He Can Do, Legacy 5.
I've never seen the face of God, but I've seen what he can do.
Number 3.
Still Telling My Story, The Irwins.
My God's worthy of praise. Whatever comes before me, I'm still telling my story.
Number 2.
That's Why We Pray, Brian Free and Assurance.
To find peace here in the chaos of the night. That's why we pray.
Number 1.
Greater Vision, Think About There.
If you think about that.
This makes 5 weeks in a row for Greater Vision in the top spot. That's our report for this week. If you missed episodes along the way, you can find them wherever you find podcasts, or you can listen at southerngospelnow.com. Don't forget, you can register to win NQC tickets at southerngospelprizes.com. That contest closes very soon. I'm Greg Goodman. Thanks for listening. Love your neighbor. And I'll see you back here next week with another edition of Southern Gospel Now.